Hello, dear friends. God rarely moves mountains in front of us. He always helps us climb them. Sherry Dew. Opinion piece. Mindset shift. Identity crisis. Strategic silence. Changing values. You are the storm. Watch every tremor. 10 days of darkness. Changes in over 100 countries. The façade hasn't collapsed yet. Let's start. This final phase of humanity's liberation involves a massive shift in mentality. That's why the quantum communication network has built in parallel to replace media-controlled and guide awakening without panic. Test transmissions have already been conducted in 11 areas. That's not theory. That's what happens when the script is reversed. Europe is experiencing its greatest change since World War II. Western civilization or Western values are being redefined due to a lack of birth rates, according to Lior Gantz. Immigration policies are replacing the native populations who have lived in these lands for thousands of years, liberating themselves at the end of the Dark Ages thanks to the invention of the printing press. This sparked a renaissance of science, art, ideas, and philosophy, ultimately leading to the Industrial Revolution and the transformation of nation-states, overthrowing Christian monarchies and papacy. European countries find very few commonalities, meaning their core cultures are disappearing and being invaded by an external demographic representing between 5 and 25% respectively, introducing a unique set of values, cultures, and religions. It's worth remembering that Arabs, Muslims, and Africans are very different from Europeans, which is generating an identity crisis. Conflict. According to Judy Pinkton, attacks are being planned on 1,500 US cities to trigger a civil conflict blamed on Trump. Armies are preparing for a global blackout. The insurrection began this weekend in Los Angeles, with the deployment of a force of 700 Marines and 4,000 National Guard troops to maintain peace. According to Mr. Red, there are violent riots in 30 US cities. It's clear this has been carefully planned and funded in advance. These rioters may get away with it now, but they'll never escape it. They have gotten all the facial recognition cameras and high-resolution video footage, so authorities will zoom in on every frame to identify the bad guys. According to Alex Jones, non-profits received millions of dollars, and we are now using the money to foment targeted attacks against federal buildings, federal agents, and private and local police. It was all part of a plan announced by John Podesta 5 years ago to trigger civil conflict if Trump returned to power. Blackout. On Saturday, June 7, 2025, the first disbursement of gold-backed treasury bonds were made through the QFS in sectors of Florida, South Africa, Brazil, and the Philippines. Meanwhile, emergency response nodes have been activated in Italy, Belgium, and Ontario after QFS intelligence detected dark side-induced power outages intended to block access to satellite links. Counter operations are proving successful. The quantum override protocols remain in place. Major financial media outlets have received warnings from the EBS about the blackout. Mainstream chains are on high alert. Treasury sources confirm a purge of the economic narrative in the mainstream media. XRP rails handle transition liquidity, while the revalued gold-backed dollar is patched to the BRICS sovereign basket. Rates. On Saturday, June 7, 2025, a red alert was issued indicating that operations have found secret underground bunkers around the world containing cloning labs and hidden documents. Canada and Australia are excluded from the first benefits of GISARA due to their government's loyalty to the cabal. Meanwhile, white hat operatives, under the guise of humanitarian missions, are dismantling black market economies linked to the Fed and the Vatican Bank using Starlink encrypted communication systems. In May 2025, the Vatican's secrets were revealed. A raid unearthed the Black Vault, a repository of documents exposing centuries of manipulation, from financial tyranny to mass mind control through religion to the deliberate suppression of free energy technologies. The Space Force has recovered alien technologies monopolized by corporations. Advanced devices such as gravity manipulators, teleportation systems, and frequency healing chambers have been seized. A raid in Antarctica uncovered an underground base housing crystalline energy generators, capable of providing free energy and healing technologies. The cabal used this as a weapon to control global markets. The QFS has dismantled a clandestine banking network used to fund illicit activities such as drug trafficking and biological weapons research. Known as the Shadow Network, this system funneled trillions of dollars undetected. Project Odin will be active on Monday, June 16th. Expect minor banking downtime between Sunday, June 15th and Monday, June 16th, signaling the final shift to full QFS integration. Expect a banking blackout period between Sunday, June 29th and Friday, July 4th, 2025, while systems adjust to a new exchange rates. Surveillance. According to Mr. Poole, more than 60% of the central bank's main communication hubs are no longer under cabal control. What replaced them is not just a surveillance system, but a live quantum monitoring protocol, governed by coalition nodes with integrated AI. Every banking transaction is intercepted and blocked if it doesn't comply with asset-backed regulations. In Berlin, senior officials at the Deutsche Bundesbank have lost their diplomatic immunity, and the Space Force has seized data records. Germany's digital gold certificate program is being audited by the QFS. The World Bank has entered a meltdown protocol. Its satellite office in Nairobi has been shut down. The recovered files include hundreds of forged development contracts for coast villages linked to the misappropriation of funds. At the same time, Fed branches in Atlanta and Minneapolis experienced technical anomalies referring to a network disconnection from the old SWIFT system. This means their connection has been cut off. All attempts to circumvent QFS validation through international cryptocurrency brokers have failed. Yet the public still believes the economy is recovering because the façade hasn't collapsed yet. 10 days of darkness. According to Melania Trump, we are now in the final countdown of preparations for a global blackout dubbed the 10 days of darkness. During this period, mass arrests will be made and unfiltered truths will be disseminated through the ABS. On Tuesday, June 10th, the first wave of public relations began, not through CNN or the BBC, but through unfiltered and QFS verified broadcasts via secure global nodes. All documentation will be unsealed, all legal proceedings and all indictments sealed. All screens will broadcast the truth according to Mr. Poole. The storm is here, and there is no stopping what's coming, according to Benjamin Fulford. This is a coordinated global takedown, occurring in over 100 countries. These moves are surgical, and they are aimed directly at the heart of the cabal's leadership. A global communications blackout is intended to install a secure quantum internet, immune to their manipulations, that will replace the old internet, riddled with backdoors and surveillance. These forces have taken control of the satellites, ensuring that global communication will be blocked when the time comes. Secret bank accounts, tax havens, and illicit wealth are being exposed. Trillions of assets are being confiscated as the world shifts to a new credit-based system that will end debt slavery. The people were never meant to lose, but to rise, once the parasites collapse under their own greed. Stay alert. Watch every tremor. The silence is strategic and will not last long. The old world is ending, and the new one is emerging. Stay strong, stay united, and trust in the plan. You are the storm. Breaking news. Trump announces 55% of tariffs on China as part of their new trade agreement. The mayor of Los Angeles declares a curfew amid tensions caused by protest. Trump says he will invoke the Insurrection Act against protests if necessary. A large-scale protest is planned in more than 1,800 locations across the U.S. The call aims to overshadow a military parade scheduled in Washington for June the 14th, coinciding with the president's birthday. The U.S. Embassy in Iraq is preparing for evacuation due to major security risks. Trump says Europe must do something about immigration before it's too late. The Agenda, His Vision, Your Future, is a documentary produced by Mark Sharman that explores the thesis that the global elite is using digital technology and politics to centralize control of society, warning of a future digital prison unless citizens resist. Spain and the UK reach a historic agreement on Gibraltar. The European Commission condemns the Spanish government's amnesty. Americas. The trade war sparks a business strategy in the Americas. Companies develop a tactic while the tariffs are extended. The US pressures Mexico to pursue narco-politicians. A controversial law promising total surveillance has been approved in Ecuador. Treasures worth $17 billion found off the coast of Colombia are on display. The artifacts belonged to the San Jose galleon and were found at a depth of 600 meters. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.